Welcome to another episode of Show Me Your RAIDLOG, where we talk with industry leaders about how they use RAIDLOGs to help project managers succeed. I'm Kim Essendrup, co-host of the Project Management Happy Hour podcast and one of the founders of RAIDLOG.com. I've used RAIDLOGs for years to save broken projects and to keep my own projects from getting broken. And I'm really excited to see how other leaders use theirs. With me today to talk RAIDLOGs is Dr. Tony Prensa. Dr. Prensa is the founder and CEO of TP Global Business Consulting and a highly accomplished executive specializing in information systems and technologies, project management, and PMOs. He's got a doctorate in organizational leadership with a major in information systems and technologies, a PMP certification, and an ITIL cert. He has extensive experience managing and overseeing large information systems projects and programs, strategic planning, and IT implementations. Dr. Prensa has a 25-year association with the Project Management Institute. He served as vice president of PMI Puerto Rico chapter from 98 to 2000, taught project management for several universities in the country, including Virginia Technical University, Grand Canyon University, Colorado Technical University, and University of Phoenix. And he currently is teaching for Walden University. Hello, Dr. Prensa. Welcome, and thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Kim. I'm happy to be here and sharing with you your experience, my experience about RAIDLOG.
Yes, and I want to thank you again for reviewing my paper for PMI Global and providing some amazing feedback before my talk. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, anytime. That was interesting, and also to be present in your presentation. That was very rewarding.
I'm looking forward to asking you a couple questions about one of my favorite project management tools and the one I spoke about at PMI Global, RAIDLOGs.
Oh, yeah. So I'm happy to talk about it.
All right. So my first question is, how did you first learn about using a RAIDLOG for project management?
Well, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit of the story. I started project management when nobody talked about project management. I was in, so I started in IT. So I was designated as a project leader for 1B initiative for a bank that I worked. So I was looking for something that helped me to keep track of things. So at the time we have a tool. It was called Harvard Total Project Management and Timeline. So that's when I started talking about more at the beginning of the 80s. That's a long time ago.
Yes, RAIDLOGs have been around quite a long time.
Exactly.
Well, can you tell us about a time when using a RAIDLOG either saved a project or kept you from having to save a project?
Yeah. That was another story. So I was the program manager in this case for big initiatives that was in Puerto Rico for one of the biggest banks. So we had this project that we called the Transformation Technology Project. So we were replacing hardware, software. So it was probably a $50 million project.
Wow.
So, so I needed to keep track of everything very tightly. So I would say if I didn't use RAIDLOG to keep track of those minor things, decision-making, risk, issue, so that project would fail. So we were successful. So it was very intense projects, like 16 hours a day project, but we got it. So because I keep track of all the details that were important for the project.
And for a $50 million project, the stakes are quite high. Yes.
That was high. So, but it's like I feel comfortable using the RAIDLOG because we also have another enterprise project management tool. Don't remember the name at the time, but I feel more comfortable having my own a tool to keep track of things like decisions, issues, risks, changes, those kind of things.
So even though you had an enterprise project management tool, you still found great value with the RAIDLOG?
Exactly. Yeah, it's easy to handle. Sometimes those big software or that's a complex solution. So sometimes it's harder to navigate through. And
Yes.
if you need to find something, so you need to log in, go there, and navigate through a lot of screens. So RAIDLOG is, as I said, flexible, comprehensive tool that you have everything that you need there when you need it.
I totally agree. Now, when using a RAID log, have you had any specific challenges that you can share and maybe how you overcame them?
Well, I would say that it's not really a challenge, but it is the way that you need to do it. So it's it's the attention to detail. So you need to keep track and you need to update it. Otherwise, it doesn't serve the benefits that you're looking for. So it's not really a challenge, but it's something that if you don't update it and you keep track of the right thing at the right time, so it won't add any value for the project. So that I would say it's not a real challenge. It's something that you need to do like anything else. So you can have the best tool available, but if you don't put the right information, it's garbage in, garbage out.
Definitely. That definitely applies to RAID log, garbage in, garbage out, and you have to have the discipline to keep it up like anything else.
Exactly.
Well, excellent. Do you have any favorite tips or tricks when using RAID logs that you can share with our audience today?
Yeah, so I would say if you want to take advantage of this comprehensive tool, so one thing is like you watch. It's like you have in your hand, so you need to have it handy. So every time that something happens, so you keep track immediately. So don't leave it for later. So I'm gonna keep track of things later because in my experience, so you lose the momentum. So it's something that you need to have in your hands every time, any conversation, any meeting, so you keep track of the thing in the real time. Don't leave it for tomorrow, leave it for later because you're gonna forget.
I think that's an amazing tip. Just stay on top of it and keep it updated real time, because I know for me, if I wait an hour even or two, I've forgotten what I was supposed to put into it and it falls behind.
Exactly.
Well, excellent. Thank you very much, Dr. Prensa, for joining us today and sharing some of your project management experience. Now, if our audience wants to find out more about what you're doing and some of the amazing trainings and things you're giving, how can they best do that? How can they reach out to you?
Yeah, so my organization is called TP Global Business Consulting. That's the name of the organization that you can find. And also in LinkedIn. So I am very active in LinkedIn, so always publishing contents about project management, PMO. And so it's easy to find Dr. Tony Prensa in LinkedIn, and I am always there. So anything that any people needs about project management. I also do career development. So I get a lot of calls about people calling me looking for advice, how they can develop their careers and be better professional. I also do that.
I'm a big fan of what you post on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to follow, and I recommend everyone else do as well. We'll have your contact information in the notes of this video, and I recommend everyone to connect.
Yes, thank you very much for having me, and it's a pleasure to talk about RAIDLOG, and that's my favorite tools. I'm gonna continue using it and also telling other people to use it.
Excellent. Well, Dr. Prensa, thank you again so much for taking time to join us today and showing us your RAIDLOG.
Thank you. Have a great day.
To step up your project management game, you can also check out our new RAIDLOG application at raidlog.com. We're bringing the tried and true RAIDLOG into the 21st century with the only platform totally dedicated to giving PMs the tools that they need to succeed in project delivery, starting with the RAIDLOG. Come check us out at raidlog.com.